Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining us this today. Today, we are having the climax of the Dark and Quiet Skies campaign 2026, and we are having the Astrophotography Parade and the Scientific Dialogue, hosted by the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach. I'm Naomi Asabre from Pone, Executive Director for the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach, and I'm really happy that you're joining us today live. And we have a wonderful program planned ahead, so please stay tuned and have fun with us because we have done so many things all throughout. And I will first like to start by telling you about what we did for this campaign, which started in June. And we started with an astrophotography training session or a workshop where we were teaching the public about how to use their smartphones and their smart telescopes and normal telescope to take astronomy pictures and teaching them the tricks, the techniques that they needed to be able to take good astrophotography um, images from their homes, from their trips outside, and to enjoy the night sky basically. And these sessions were there were 4 sessions spanning over 3 days, depending on where you were in the world. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you still want to watch these videos, they are currently live on our YouTube channel on the playlist called Smart Astrophotography Training. So please check it out and continue to learn about how to take pictures of our night sky. Then we followed the training with a global astrophotography and storytelling campaign. The previous program was to help people learn how to take pictures, and now the campaign was to ask you to take pictures of your night sky. From June to July, we asked people to photograph the moon, their night sky, the Milky Way, from their local environments, from their communities, and record their personal stories, reflections, and experience about what they feel about the night sky, the awe and wonder and connection they feel from the night sky, and how they feel we should protect the night sky. And this parade today, which is the climax of the whole campaign, is going to have excerpts of these submissions that our wonderful audience and participants submitted to us, shown in the form of carousels and call outs of what they've written about what they feel about the night sky and the amazing photos and videos they took. So please stick around and enjoy these images with us. Now, we don't only have these wonderful images and poems and write-ups submissions. We also have 3 experts joining us from Globe at Night, which is the reason why we're having this event is we're trying to also celebrate Globe at Night at 20 years. It's a season-sized project that has been running for 20 years and help people to understand the night sky and light pollution. I will have an expert to talk about the 20 years of Globe at Night, what have we learned? And then we have another expert from the Center for the Protection of Dark Skies to talk about the scientific challenges, not only light pollution, but also satellite constellations are having on the scientific aspect of observing the night sky. And finally, we are going to have an expert from Dark Sky International telling us about how we can reduce light pollution from our own homes, from our own actions. So please stick around, and I hope you have fun and learn something together with us. Now, during the storytelling campaign and astrophotography campaign, we asked a couple of questions. When you submitted your images and pictures, we asked, what do you feel when you're observing the night sky or photographing the night sky? And we had a lot of submissions, and I want to read out a few, starting from the right to the left and then down. One person wrote, I feel relieved, astonished, and fascinated. There are so many unexplained mysteries hidden beyond our skies. There's one translator that says, it raises many questions for me. I feel that we are so small yet so valuable. Another wrote, I feel a deep sense of humility and wonder. I feel a deep sense of peace, wonder, and gratitude. I feel an unlimited awe, and I always feel unlimited awe and insignificance. That both people and stars above are Same but in different forms. I feel peaceful, amazed, and deeply connected to the universe. I feel a sense of belonging to the cosmos. I am truly fascinated by the secrets of the night sky. We can see a running theme here. So I put all these submissions into a word cloud and came up with the most frequently used words during these submissions. And we can see that there's sky, amazement, curiosity, peace, connection, nature, inspiration, wonder, universe, focus, gratitude, beauty, humility. And these are all sentiments that people feel when they look and observe the night sky: excitement, appreciation, discovery, joy, thrill, humanity. And I think it resonates very well with all of us. And I hope we keep having the opportunity to enjoy and feel these things when we look at the night sky. So now we have um, a collection of videos. These are not all the videos. We are going to split them up during this session. So these are a subsection of the videos that we have for you, and we'll play them for you right now. So please stay tuned. Now we'll invite Connie Walker to join us as she talks about from awareness to action using globe at night to save our stars. Connie is a scientist from NSF Neo Lab, and she's been working there for the past 56 years. She's been involved with light pollution issues and heading its Office of Observatory Science Site Pollution. Thank you, Connie. You can share your screen now.
I think it's shared, right? Do you see it? There you go.
Yes, we
I'm
can
going to
see
have
your
that
slide.
tune in my head the rest of the day, you know. It's a great tune. Hi, everybody. Good day or good night, depending on where you are. My name is Connie Walker, as Naomi said. I'm a scientist or an astronomer at the US's National Optical Observatory, known as NOIR Lab, headquartered in Tucson, Arizona, USA. And I do wear a couple of the hats, as she said, but I come to you as the head of Globe at Night, International Citizen Science Campaign at the moment. I have a question for you. This is a beautiful photograph of the background by one of your people who are participating in the program, Mew Chu. And on the right-hand side, I want to know if you can put in the chat if you'd like, what is going on there? Why is the night sky brighter, obviously, in the right-hand side than it is in the left? And what's causing that brightness, right? And I think you all know the answer, but that's sort of my segue into all of this. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the point is that I'm going to be talking about Globe at Night. And for those of you who have participated in the Globe at Night program, please give a thumbs up in the chat. And for those of you who are not familiar with Globe at Night is a very active way to participate in protecting your night sky, you personally. It is a successful international citizen science campaign to raise the awareness of the impact of light pollution. And it's been running, as Naomi said, for 20 years with more than 1 million people that have participated in with almost about 330,000 observations. And let's see if I can. So the worldwide campaign involves people in recording night sky brightness data by matching what they see, their view, of a constellation like maybe Orion, which was shown in one of those photos that we just saw, and you could compare that with maps on our app of progressively fainter stars. So there's like 7 different maps, from a lot of stars to a little stars. And this is done as a 10-day campaign each month when the moon is not out, because the moon obviously is a natural light bulb in the night sky. So we try to avoid it for those 10 days in the first half of the night sky. So notice, if you will, all the colored dots in the map of the USA. The colored dots represent the brighter sky and the darker dots represent the darker sky. Most of the dots are bright because the data that was taken from cities, so they have lots of light. You will see these colored dots in a couple of other slides that we have today. Okay, so I'm going to start with a punchline. Citizen science can be immensely powerful in that it can provide important ammunition that enables action that everyone can participate in. For instance, Globe at Night data provided some startling results. Using 51,000 Globe at Night observations of the visibility of stars made by people worldwide over 12 years, scientists investigated the change in sky brightness. Analysis of their data showed the number of stars decreased by an amount explained by a 10% rise in light pollution each year worldwide. 10% every year worldwide. The research was led by Dr. Chris Kaiba. The description of the project and its results are in an article from Science Magazine, accessible by the QR code shown here. And this research is used as evidence all over the world when making or strengthening or enforcing laws. So what are some of the best ways to get people involved in protecting the night sky? First, if you're going to be active in this, you should convey how light pollution impacts their lives. Because honestly, they're not going to do it for the sake of researching in astronomy. So by doing this, relating it to their lives, this increases the awareness and their interest. We lose a lot when we can no longer view a pristinely dark and quiet, a dark and starry night sky. In brief, too much light at night affects energy consumption, human health, wildlife, our right to view a starry night sky, and our cultural heritage, in addition to research in astronomy. And that could be a whole presentation in itself. Then make the Globe at Night fun, fast, easy to use, and we have done that. Globe at Night has a very easy to use app, which is shown here. It has very straightforward directions. It's 7 easy steps. It has a Facebook page with lots of latest news and more, and there's a bunch of other things that we offer. Okay. We also provide hands-on activities, or we did provide hands-on activities and resources that you can adapt to understand the issue. So people are familiar with air pollution and water pollution, but they're not necessarily familiar with light pollution. And so to familiarize them with the concept, we made kits. And it's like for elementary age students all the way through college. And these have activities that relate to their lives. They're hands-on, age-appropriate, problem-based learning activities like those that are shown here. And they're very effective in providing the understanding of the light pollution. We also provided the training for these for educators worldwide, both in person and online, and with students too. Believe me, it was a lot of fun. By training others to facilitate activities, especially with students, you influence tomorrow's leaders in the understanding of the issue. Students in more than 50 countries have experienced our activities. So we have here represented college students in Nigeria and Argentina, and they were trained to facilitate these activities to younger students. Workshops of these activities have been given to educators all over the world for use in the classroom or museums or national parks or libraries, and you can think of other places, I'm sure. One of the greatest outcomes from an environmental course was from the entire country of Australia, who succeeded in taking 6,700 globe at night measurements all in one night, their longest night of the year, breaking the Guinness Book of World Records. We're very proud to say. Kudos to that group in Australia. While a main function of a citizen science program is to collect data, you also want to use the data. People, and particularly students of various ages, have applied globe at night data in creative ways. And I'll tell you a few of those. So elementary and middle school students asked, how much of the night sky have they already lost? They took 3,700 globe at night measurements and visualized their results by building a 35,000 piece Lego map that was displayed at the city library for about a year. And you can see the Lego map in the upper left-hand panel. Their map got a lot of media attention. Then in the lower panel, left-hand panel, the high school students and some amateur astronomers took globe at night observations all over their city and made a map that they presented to their city's environmental advisory board and their mayor. And as a result, it took actually, I have to be honest, a couple of years, but new stricter lighting ordinances or laws were passed. In the lower right-hand panel, two of my undergraduate students studied the impact of city lights on the lesser long-nosed bat, a threatened and endangered species of bat. They took 3,500 sky quality meter measurements, and the map of the bat's path from where they slept to where they eat, which is about 25 kilometers across the city, avoids the bright city center. And the question was whether Tucson should protect that corridor with stricter lighting laws. The analysis was done with members of the Arizona Game and Fish Department. They took the measurements of the bats. They found that the bats' routes were influenced by the city lights, but also the ecoregion and the vegetation, not just the city lights alone. So you can, it's okay to do things by yourself, but you're stronger and you have more opportunities if you can do things with partnerships. And so strategic partnerships are key, and they can be instrumental in influencing tomorrow's leaders to take action today. And here are some of the examples that we've had with Globe at Night collaborations. Every year, the National Geographic sponsors a bio blitz or a species inventory with a national park. And one year they chose the national parks that flank Tucson or the east and west side. As part of the event, Globe at Night measurements were taken by Boy Scouts in the Western Park and by park rangers in the Eastern Park, and the public, led by amateur astronomers, took care of 4 major streets that ran east and west across the city. They found that the city center was 100 times brighter than the eastern part of the mountains. This result got lots of media attention, besides being a lot of fun and getting that interesting result. The last one here on this slide is a program with the Girl Scouts. And this Global Night program inspired them to do a statewide virtual campout in New Jersey involving 1,000 families. In addition, two twin girls inspired by Global Night created a Dark Skies webpage for kids to earn their Girl Scout Silver Award. And they did earn it and subsequently won a Dark Sky Rising Star Award and a Presidential Service Award. So if I have time here, I'd like to show a little video. It's only a couple minutes. Because inasmuch as we, the experts, try our best to inspire citizen scientists more often inspire us. So as one of my last slides, I would like to show or leave you with an inspiring story of a 7-year-old boy who became a dark sky ranger, which is one of our programs off of Globe at Night, after participating in Globe at Night. So if you don't mind, I'll let it run.
Esta é a minha rua. Como podem ver, está muito mal iluminada. Os candeeiros são mesmo péssimos. Iluminam para onde não é preciso, para o céu. Senhor Presidente da Câmara, estou a pedir-lhe, troque estes candeeiros por outros, tapados em cima e dos lados, para iluminar melhor a rua, diminuir a poluição luminosa e ainda poupar dinheiro. Eu sou um Dark Sky Rangers, porque quando for grande, quero ser poeta. E os poetas precisam das estrelas brilhantes e da lua romântica para se inspirarem no seu pensamento profundo.
This is a 7-year-old boy, everybody. So inasmuch, oops, it's not going to the next one. Oh boy. And I think it's a little stuck. All right, here we go. Inasmuch as I should say the next slide. So as we overcome our ancient instincts, telling us always to push for more light, we have to remember to look up more often, enjoy our starry night sky more, and continue to protect our precious cultural heritage. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share the Citizen Science campaign with you. We hope you'll join us in our next Globe at Night campaign.
Thank you so much, Kani. That was amazing. The little ranger was really inspiring. I hope we get to have more people want us to be dark sky rangers. So after Kani, we also asked another question to participants who were part of the campaign. We asked them why does the night sky what does it mean to what does it matter to you? Why does a night sky matter to you? And there were multiple submissions and we picked a couple of them. One says that it counts me from the inside out. The night sky matters to me more than anything else because it is timeless and infinite and a constant reminder of humility and wonder. It gives me a sense of belonging. The night sky reminds me of the vastness of the universe and the humanity's quest to understand it is where all our stories begin. One person said, the night sky is a never-ending source of inspiration and learning for me. It motivates me to question, investigate, and enjoy the universe. It reminds me of one of the greatest things that human beings have, a sense of curiosity. Another wrote, whatever success I have achieved in my life today, the night sky has played a massive role in it. The night sky is an emotion for me. Whenever I miss someone or I feel sad, I look up at the night sky and I don't know how, but my stress just melts away. Emotional regulation through connection with the cosmos, very like thinking about spirituality. The night sky matters to me because it serves as an essential grounding counterbalance to my fast-paced professional life. And I think these are sentiments that I feel myself, and I'm sure many of you have been through these kind of sentiments. And if you resonate with it, give us a thumbs up in the chat. And these are some of the words I pulled out from all the submissions. As we see, there are a lot of repetitions here. There's beauty, inspiration, perspective, humanity, protection, chaos, curiosity, learning, exploration, discovery, dark skies, passion, future generation, balance, well-being. These are all things, heritage. These are all things that people matter to people, and they feel that connection with the dark sky when they look up at the night sky. After this, we have another video for you and of a collection of videos and pictures that we got from our participants. Thank you very much again for participating and sharing them with us. These are another round of images that we collected. If you are wondering whether you can see these videos again, they will be live on our YouTube channel. So please come back again later to watch them and share the link with your friends also. We invite our next speaker, who is Matthew Isidro from the IAU Center for the Protection of the Dark and Quiet Skies. Is going to speak about protecting our shared skies from the impact of satellite constellations. Matt serves as a communication and outreach lead for the IOU Center for Protection of the Dark and Quiet Skies, and in his capacity, he oversees public communication efforts for the center in advocating for better protections for astronomy and stargazing from the impact of satellite constellations. Welcome, Matt, and I'll hand over to you.
Right. Thanks very much, Naomi. Can you hear me okay?
Your voice is a bit low.
Okay, I'll try and speak loudly. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen now,
Yes.
Matt.
Okay, great. So thanks very much for having me, Naomi, and everyone. It's a pleasure to join you. As Naomi said, I'm Matthew Isidro. I'm the Communications and Outreach Lead for the IAU Center for the Protection of the Dark and Quiet Sky, and I will tell you all a little bit more about this. And I'm calling from South Australia, from Adelaide. I'm right next to the River Murray International Dark Sky Reserve, so I'm very privileged to have access to beautiful dark skies, and I've really enjoyed watching the first few videos and images that we saw. And I wanted to start with that actually. These are a couple of photos that I took. I was researching in preparing this talk. I sort of started as an astrophotographer in my teens, back when we were doing this on film. I found this couple of pictures that I took from Chile about 14 years ago of the night sky from Paranal Observatory. And in looking at those pictures, what struck me is there are no satellite trails on those pictures, not a single one. And they're straight out of the camera. There's no processing done on them. And that situation has changed dramatically since then. So why do we talk about satellites? Because they have all sorts of impacts on astronomy. They, of course, reflect sunlight, particularly at dusk and at dawn, which can blind telescopes that are looking at the night sky. But they also emit radio emissions, and those radio emissions can be picked up by radio telescopes on the ground, which are really, really sensitive. So they can also interfere with radio observations. And of course, all of those of you who are taking pictures of the night sky, you'll be familiar with this. You see more and more of them in the night sky. So casual stargazers and astrophotographers, it's sort of changing a little bit the way the night sky looks. And the issue here is the quantity that we're talking about. There's been a huge exponential growth in the number of satellites launched, and we now have more than 16,000 in orbit around the Earth, and more than 11,000 are from satellite constellations, which have been launched by only a handful of companies. And that's only the beginning. The predictions are that this will go up to about 100,000 satellites in the next few years by 2030. And there are proposals in the books for more than 2 million satellites. So this is, completely changing the way the night sky looks and can have a huge impact on how we conduct science from the ground. And so specifically, I wanted to share with you, what this looks like in images, right, for us. And so for optical astronomy, you'll see that basically leaves satellite streaks on your images. And if the satellites are bright enough, those streaks get bigger and bigger and can essentially overload your CCDs and blind you to what you're trying to look for. And in terms of radio emissions, satellites, of course, emit data intentionally. They're transmitting data, but they also leak data, right? There's radio leakage. The onboard electronics are noisy, and that's something we can pick up with our really sensitive radio telescopes. So all of those things are a bit of an issue. And here you can see what that looks like for radio observations. Those two observations were done 10 years apart, looking up at the whole night sky. And you can see on the right a lot more red dots in the sky, and those were caused by Starlink satellites, right? So that's an example of how your radio data can be impacted. Now, there's been proposals to, why don't we do astronomy from space and put observatories in space? But I wanted to show you these images to show that even space telescopes are being affected, right? And these are images from the Hubble space telescopes, and you can see satellite streaks on those images. And of course, the other issue is that the facilities that we have on the ground are absolutely huge in scale. And so putting them in orbit would be, if not impossible, would be completely cost prohibitive, right? Because of the size and the scale and the weight of the facilities in question. So there are some real challenges there that we need to overcome to continue to be able to do astronomy from the ground, from Earth, to look at space. And so because this is about astrophotography, I thought I'd focus quite a bit of my talk on images of the night sky to illustrate the point, and to show you how observatories around the world are being affected by satellite constellations. So this is in South Africa. This is at the SKA Observatory in South Africa. This was taken just about 2 years ago at dawn. This is a radio telescope. This is in Chile, on the Cerro Pachón Observatory in Chile. You can see satellite trails and a comet there. This is from Indonesia. This is a fisheye sort of lens looking up at the whole night sky, and you can see satellite trails throughout the night at the Timau Observatory in Indonesia. And this is all again in Chile from some of our partners, the European Southern Observatory, when they released a study of what 1 million satellites would look like, and how it would affect astronomy. And basically, what they found is that above 100,000 satellites in orbit, we're going to have real challenges in conducting astronomy from the ground. You can scan that QR code if you'd like to go and look at that study. So there's some real challenges. There's impacts on the night sky, of course, and how communities have been using the night sky for centuries and thousands of years, even, seeing satellites is affecting that. And without getting into too much detail about the CPS, but this is the center of expertise that the International Astronomical Union has put together to try and tackle the issue. Its mission is to bring together all stakeholders to collaborate and to coordinate efforts to find solutions. So it brings together software engineers, observers, astronomers, the satellite industry as well, space lawyers, government officials, and many, many others in different fields of activity. I could talk quite a lot about what's going on here in those couple of slides, but all I'll say is that you can find those resources on the CPS website if you're interested, and they sort of go into more detail about what astronomers are doing to try and mitigate the impact of satellite constellations, what policymakers are doing at the international level, at the United Nations, the discussions that are going on, but also what industry is doing or trialing to try and come up with solutions. So there's lots there available for you to look into. And so I wanted to finish with what you can do and how you can get involved. The first thing is, for those of you who are astrophotographers who are taking pictures of the night sky, do take photos of satellites, right? Don't remove them from your images necessarily, but please take photos and share them so more people are aware of what satellites look like in the night sky. And consider making some of those images available free of copyright, because it's really important for educators, for local media who have very little resources, to be able to use imagery, just as I've done in this talk, to show what the issue is. And you can learn more about satellite constellations on the CPS website. I've put the link there. There are lots of resources. There are videos that have been put together to explain more about satellite constellations and the good things that they bring, but also the challenges that result from those increasing numbers of satellites. And those are designed to help you learn about the topic. And then we really want to encourage people to engage with your local communities, with your representatives, with your local media, about the impact that those satellites are having on the night sky. These are live discussions across the world. As I said, there's discussions at the United Nations on this. So this is a very big and important topic at the moment in sort of international discussions. So the more we can talk about it, the more we can educate people about it, the better. And of course, consider joining the CPS. It's free. If you have the ability to contribute resources or to help develop materials, we are always looking for help. And so with that, I'd like to conclude and say thank you all very much. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm really excited to see the upcoming photos. Thanks, Naomi.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I'm going to continue with the submissions that we've had. We also asked our participants of the campaign, what does a nice guy mean in your culture, your community, or your personal life? And we had, of course, many submissions. And now I want to read through a couple of ones that we chose. Even though I didn't have a telescope, I used to gaze at the moon with fascination while growing up in Bangladesh. Here are some ways that this childhood interest has evolved into a passion for science today. I feel I should continue to learn, explore, and share the beauty of the universe. In our community, the night sky is a rare, unifying sanctuary where nature, cultural mythology, and cutting-edge deep sky astrophotography converge. I regularly observe the night sky and explore how music and music therapy can strengthen our connection with the cosmos. I believe that experiences under dark skies can promote emotional self-regulation, creativity, well-being, and a renewed awareness, including myths, constellations, and tangible culture. The night sky plays a huge role in my personal life as it is my only source of hope. The night sky holds a special place in my life because my fascination with it began in childhood when my mother would tell me stories about the stars, constellations, and the wonders of the universe, turning a childhood wonder into a lifelong passion. Ultimately, the night sky is my ultimate source of quietude and intellectual renewal. It allows me to bridge the gap between the logical mindset I apply at work and a deeper, more meditative curiosity about the world around me. The last one says the night sky is not a dark, empty space. It's a holy place that connects people to the gods and ancient wisdom. Now, some of us will find our sentiments within some of these ones, and I hope we all find a way and get to know how important the night sky is in our culture and in our community and in our personal lives. And some of the words that stood out to me were learning, curiosity, calm, festival, sanctuary, identity, navigation, exploration, balance, guidance, imagination, a shared sky, generations. So it always brings a sense of belonging. From personally my culture, the night sky is very, very important. I'm sure in many, many cultures around the world, the night sky is a very important part of it. And I hope through this program, you find a way to identify yourself through the cultural significance of the night sky in your community. We'll continue with the next round of image videos, and I hope you enjoy.
Now the summer came, we can go everywhere. So let's take it to the beach. Girl, it's just you and me. Now the summer came, so we can go everywhere. Let's take it to the beach. Girl, it's just you and me. Now when the summer's here, maybe we can disappear. Maybe we can go away. Baby, there's no need to stay. Now when the summer's here, we can just disappear. Maybe we can go away. Maybe there's no need to stay. Now the summer came, we can go everywhere. So let's take it to the beach. Girl, it's just you and me. Now the summer came, so we can go everywhere. Let's take it to the beach. Girl, it's just you and me. Now when the summer's here, maybe we can disappear. Maybe we can go away. Baby, there's no need to stay. Now when the summer's here, we can just disappear. Maybe we can go away. Maybe there's no need to stay.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. The music was really nice. Thank you. We'll now invite Drew. Drew Regan is from the Dark Sky International. He's going to talk to us about practical solutions to a glaring problem. Drew is a senior marketing and communication manager at Dark Sky, where he helps connect people with the value of protecting the night sky. And before joining Dark Sky, he spent more than a decade as an interpretive ranger with the National Park Service, helping multiple national park sites achieve Dark Sky certification. So he's going to help us to find the practical solutions that are within our reach to help reduce light pollution. Over to you, Regan. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Hi there. Thank you for the introduction. My name's Drew Reagan, and I work for Dark Sky International. And yes, I want to talk today a little bit more about light pollution and also practical solutions that anyone can implement in order to reduce light pollution, because we've talked a lot about light pollution here today, and we really want to dive into some solutions. So the title of my presentation today is The Lighting Paradox: Protecting the Night Through Quality Light. It's important to frame the conversation in this way because while light is the problem, lighting can also be the solution. And that's what Dark Sky is working towards a solution. We're trying to rein in light pollution to slow its growth and ultimately reverse the impacts of the negative impacts of light pollution. So if you're not familiar, I just want to take a high-level look at Dark Sky International and our mission. Dark Sky's mission is to restore the nighttime environment and protect communities and wildlife from the harmful effects of light pollution through education, advocacy, and policy. When it comes down to it, we want to protect the nighttime environment because the nighttime environment is so critically important. Why does the night matter? The night is critically important because really all life on Earth has evolved under the natural cycles of day and night. Night is important to nature and ecosystems. It's important to our health and well-being. Our circadian rhythms are tuned to darkness. Connie also brought up some other things like the wasted energy of light pollution, which contributes to climate change and also the importance the night sky has to culture, to our cultural understanding, our place in the universe. So there's so many reasons why we want to protect the nighttime environment. When it comes down to it, light pollution continues to grow and globe at night that Connie spoke about. Globe at Night really showcases just how quickly light pollution is growing, about 10% a year, which means that it's doubling about every 8 years. When it comes to talking about light pollution can often be a little bit maybe hard for people to understand, or sometimes people think, well, what can I do about light pollution? Light pollution is continuing to grow. So what can I do? It's an infrastructure problem, perhaps. You know, as cities grow, more light is added to the nighttime environment. As LED lighting has come onto the scene, we've seen a proliferation of brighter lights because lighting the night is becoming cheaper. So it can often be hard to have conversations with people about, well, how do we reduce light pollution? One thing that I've found really effective is to start breaking light pollution down to a really personal scale. And what I mean by that is, rather than talking about light pollution in terms of big city sky glow, I like to ask people a simple question. Do you have a bad light in your life? And I think that we all do. This picture was taken by one of my fellow coworkers, and this is a neighbor's light that is unshielded, overly bright, and it's streaming through a bedroom window. Again, we all have a bad light in our life. I also have a neighbor whose light comes on and obnoxiously shines into my yard. For some people, it's the glowing glare of headlights as vehicle lights seem to be becoming brighter and brighter. We all experience light pollution, and it's not just at the level of sky glow, impeding our view of the stars. Light pollution affects us in many ways, and often it's just through bad lighting. So I really like to enter the conversation with people talking about bad lighting. Because going back to this previous slide, what's really driving light pollution is a lack of awareness. There's a lot of misguided assumptions about how we use light at night that's contributing to the problem. To showcase this, I want to do a little quick demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lights here in the room. I have with me just this little mag light. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this little flashlight, and I'm going to screw off the cap. When people are adding light to the nighttime environment, they often just make this assumption that adding light to the night is just going to automatically solve whatever problem they're looking to solve. That just adding a light to the nighttime environment is automatically going to help them see better. It's going to improve their safety. But that's not necessarily the case. So as I screw off this cap, if I just add a bright light to the nighttime environment, you can actually see that it creates a real glaring problem. Placed between the camera and myself, there's a lot of glare. And this particular light is extremely bright. And it goes to show that just adding a light to the nighttime environment is not the full cure. In order to have quality lighting, there are measures you can take in order to improve this light that you've just added to the nighttime environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this little cap, I'm going to put it over the light, and you can actually see the improvement that comes by modifying that light to be just a little bit different, improving your actual vision of this space. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn back on this light. So dark sky, just a few years ago, came out with a series of 5 guiding principles that really are, that ground all of our programs. And these 5 principles have been created in order to help people understand how they can improve their lighting. So these 5 principles include, first off, is the light useful? When you're adding a light to the nighttime environment, is there a need for that light at all? If you determine that there is a need for that light, is it targeted? In this lighting example, I just put a little shield over the light. So we want to make sure that the light is going down to where it's needed, not up into the night sky, creating that wasteful light and that light pollution. Is the light low level? The light that I showed just a moment ago, it was extremely bright. And because it was extremely bright, it created a lot of glare. And again, that actually reduced the usefulness of that light. So we want to make sure that light levels are appropriate. Is it controlled? You can control a light, say outside in your nighttime environment, by putting it on a timer or sensor. So it's only on when it's needed. And then is it warm colored? We know that blue toned lights scatter further in the atmosphere, creating more sky glow. So is there a potential for your light to be warmer colored in order to, again, reduce the impacts of light pollution? Now, Dark Sky has a lot of programs. And again, all of Dark Sky's programs are rooted in these 5 principles. As Naomi mentioned, before I started working for Dark Sky International, I worked for the National Park Service in the United States, where I helped a number of park sites become Dark Sky certified. And well, whenever I first started to help a park become certified, the first park I helped was Mesa Verde National Park. I didn't really know a whole lot about light pollution. So whenever our park decided to apply for dark sky certification, I thought, oh, this is going to be absolutely easy. We have dark skies. Well, there's a whole lot more to the certification, because while the Dark Sky Places program, yes, protects places with dark skies, there's also a commitment a place has to make in order to protect their night skies. And that's through implementing quality lighting guided by these 5 principles. Now, this was put into action, and I'm going to show a series of pictures, because in order to become Dark Sky certified in this program for a park, you have to take a lighting inventory. So you have to go through the entire park and inventory all of the light, so you can get those lights into compliance. So then you can guide those lights and make sure that they're following the 5 principles. This photo was actually submitted to me by a friend from Grand Canyon National Park. Grand Canyon National Park also went through this certification process. It was a big process for them. There were about 4,000 to 5,000 lights that they had to inventory. And then after the inventory process, work to get those lights into compliance by making sure that those lights, again, were useful, shielded, low level, and in compliance with our program guidelines. And the results are really astonishing. Here's a before image of one of the lodging locations inside Grand Canyon National Park. And here's a photograph after that lighting, after that lighting was fixed in order to be compliant with the program. Here's another photograph from before photograph from the El Tovar Lodge. And you'll see what a dramatic impact quality lighting has on that space, really improving the space and the visual acuity you have in that space. Now, Dark Sky has a number of programs. It's not just for national parks or places that already have dark skies. We have a number of programs. There's even a program for outdoor sports lighting. So even lighting at a really large scale, like sports lighting, if these 5 principles are applied, can make a huge impact in reducing light pollution. And again, it fits really any scale. The same 5 principles are used for our community ordinance and codes program, where cities and municipalities can adopt lighting policies, again, grounded in these 5 principles to reduce light pollution and protect the night sky and the nighttime environment. If I was going to direct people today on this call to one resource, I'd highly recommend going to Dark Sky's website, darksky.org, and searching for the Home Outdoor Lighting Assessment. The Home Outdoor Lighting Assessment is a guide that'll take you through the 5 principles of responsible outdoor lighting at night and help you inventory the lights around your own home. What I really love about this is it's a fun activity, and it really kind of hits at all the other dark sky programs. You know, Grand Canyon National Park did an inventory of 5,000 lights. That's kind of the extreme end of it. But you can do a similar assessment right around your own home through this guided activity where you go around and you inventory the lights around your own home, and then you can learn about how to get them into compliance by following the 5 principles. And there's a lot of good suggestions about how to find dark sky friendly lighting, how to modify lights if you're not able to replace fixtures. So it's just a really good program activity that I would direct you to start understanding how at any level, whether it's just at your home or if it's in your community, you can start working to apply the 5 principles in order to reduce light pollution. So I want to thank everyone for their time today, and I really encourage everyone to get out, start looking at lighting a little bit differently, to assess the lighting around your home, and start applying those principles in order to reduce light pollution, so we can start turning the tide on light pollution. We really want to slow its growth so we can minimize its impacts, and we can continue to enjoy a beautiful nighttime environment.
Thank you so much, Drew. That was wonderful. Thank you for all the tips and tricks. I hope our listeners and our participants will try and apply all these tips and practical guides that you've given to help reduce our personal light pollution, and that will extend to our communities and our countries. Thank you so much. We did also ask our participants about how can protecting the sky benefit their communities and their lives. And they also sent in some submissions, and I want to mention them, read through them, and I think we will all find something very important here that we can apply to our communities and our lives. One person said, protecting the skies is very important to me because the night sky is my favorite place to find peace, relax from stress, and do my astrophotography. One says, by preserving our local ecosystem and our connection to nature. The sheer impact of this paradigm shift can empower so many people and inspire others to change the world for the better. Protecting dark skies reduce light pollution, helps people enjoy the beauty of the stars and the moon, supports wildlife, and encourages astronomy education. Dark skies encourage people, especially children, to learn about science and astronomy. They also support wildlife and create a healthier nighttime environment. Bring more youth into the field of vast astronomy and learn about stuff we never imagined existed. We need to be able to see and be inspired by the night sky if we want more people to be into space science. Imagine thousands of people, especially kids, getting to see the Milky Way with their own eyes. I think experiences like that can inspire the next generation of astronomers. I think these sentiments are what Drew, Connie, and Matthew all feel about protecting our night sky and our dark sky. And certainly, I find a lot of connection with what is being written here, and I hope everyone out there feels the same connection and a passion for protecting our dark skies. I also asked our participants to kind of share some messages they want to send out to the world for people to pay attention to, so that we have messages to remember. And I'll read through them quickly. No matter where we come from, we all share the same sky. Let's protect our dark skies so future generations can continue to experience the wonder, beauty, and inspiration of the universe. Instead of always looking down at a screen, take a moment to look up at the sky. You may discover not only the universe, but also a new perspective on your own life. The night sky is a shared heritage that belongs to everyone. Every light we use wisely helps keep the stars visible for tomorrow. By protecting our dark skies, we are not just saving a beautiful view, we are preserving a natural therapy space and an open classroom. The night sky belongs to everyone. Once you see the Milky Way with your own eyes, you will never look at the sky the same way again. The night sky is not a static canvas. It is alive, moving, and constantly breathing. Protecting the night sky is not only about saving the stars, it is protecting life on Earth. The stars have always been there for us. Now it is our turn to protect the darkness that allows them to shine. Look up, stay curious, and remember that protecting the night sky means protecting a part of ourselves and lives and the living world we share. The wonder of the universe are not just abstract textbook photos, they are real, massive, and active cosmic events happening right above us. So these are the messages that our participants shared. Drew, Matt, Connie, you want to turn on your videos and each share one sentence message? You want to add your message to these? I know they practically said everything you want to say. They really shared my sentiments, but if you want to each say a sentence about what message you want everyone to remember, I think that would be great. Who wants to go first? I see y'all thinking. Connie, you want to go first?
I think the most important thing is that if we don't fix this light pollution problem, which everyone can do very easily, so it's the easiest pollution to fix on your own. We are going to lose our cultural heritage, and that's something that for millions of years we have had this beautiful night sky that has inspired people like Holst, who composed the planets, the musical composition, or Shakespeare, who wrote a lot of sonnets that have astronomical things in it, and also let's see, Van Gogh, who did the Starry Night Sky. So inspiration to artists, not just scientists, or it's amazing. So you're going to lose all this if you don't protect night sky for future generations. So please take part in all of this if you can.
Thank you, Connie. Matt?
From my part, I think I'd say now is the time to act on satellite constellations because numbers are growing so fast, so exponentially. And if we don't do something now, our night sky will dramatically change in a matter of years, just a few years before we realize it. So now is the time to act, and we need everybody's help to raise awareness and find solutions to keep our skies both dark but also quiet for astronomy and for stargazers. Thank you.
Then Regan?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of echo both what Connie and Matteo said, we're barreling towards a future where we are sealing the night sky off from us, whether that's through sky glow, through light pollution, or through satellite proliferation. The night sky is under rapid change. I think, yeah, the best thing, or what I'd like to leave people with, is don't be discouraged that there are solutions, and really start looking out for bad lighting. Like, once you see bad lighting, it's hard not to see, and start with just whatever changes you can make around your own home. Let that grow to your community. Set a good example in doing so, and yeah. There are solutions that you can do right at home that can lead to much bigger places very quickly. And we've seen that in our community.
Thank you all so much. Please don't go away. I want to say something. We have one more video, a compilation of videos and images to watch. But before we do that, I want to say a huge thank you to Connie, to Matt, to Drew, for giving out their time to come and talk to us about all these images, and all their work they are doing, all the things that they've learned they want to share with us. Thank you so much for your presentations. We really appreciate it, and your time. Thank you to all those who sent in their submissions, their videos, for allowing us to show them. Thank you. And some of your poems that I read in your submissions, there were so many good ones. I couldn't pick all. We would have been here the whole night. So thank you for your submission and sharing a part of yourself with us. We really, really appreciate it. And these videos, compilations, we'll be putting them on our social media. And this campaign or this event will also be on our YouTube. So please share with your friends and your community, and please look out for all our social medias. A huge thank you to the OAO team, especially to Cynthia Duran, who is our international officer. She put together the videos and the images that Carlos and that kick-ass music that she used is amazing. Thank you, Cynthia, so much for doing all the work, and all our publicity was done by Cynthia. Thank you so much for doing amazing work. Thank you for being part of this event, being part of this campaign. We invite you to join us again, to join Globe at Night, to join CPS, to join Dark Sky International, to take steps to promoting, preserving and conserving our dark and quiet skies, and continue to be part of the OO in all our events. We look forward to seeing you again, and please hang on while we play the last compilation that we have. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And as we always say at the OOO, may your skies be always dark and quiet. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you again at the next OOO event.